Hello guys, and welcome to a brand new Let's Play. Today we are going to be looking at the Darkest Dungeon. This is a game that I've been playing now for about 2-3 weeks on and off, trying to get used to it and how it plays and stuff like that, and I am very much looking forward to doing this as a Let's Play for you guys. The best way to describe this is a side-scroller, turn-based strategy type game, I guess. And basically the idea is you host a party of members like warriors and abominations, rogues, all these different types of like class names, which we'll go into more detail on a bit later in the episode. And basically you have to go through these dungeons. It's a bit like a dungeon crawler, but it's turn-based and it's also a side scroller. It's got a really interesting like mechanic. It's got some really interesting mechanics to it, and I think it's definitely something that make a really good Let's Play. Now hopefully it's something you guys will enjoy too. So I'm going to start a new campaign here. I'm trying to think that the name of the campaign is going to be the name of the house itself. So we're going to call it our... I'm just going to put Let's Play to keep it simple. And it's going to be our Let's Play campaign. So I'm going to stay quiet for the opening here.
You will arrive along the old road. It winds with a troubling serpent-like suggestion through the corrupted countryside, leading only, I fear, to ever more tenebrous places. There is a sickness in the ancient pitted cobbles of the old road, and on its writhing path you will face viciousness, violence, and perhaps other damnably transcendent terrors. So steel yourself, and remember there can be no bravery without madness. The old road will take you to hell, but in that gaping abyss, we will find our redemption.
Okay, so here we are with the Hamlet. This is kind of a tutorial mission. This is basically us trying to get to the Hamlet, to the actual city area, which will kind of be a hub for everything that we do as far as like upgrades and helping our soldiers to train and stuff like that. So basically this is just a little tutorial mission. It's going to be easy enough, but I feel like there's a lot of RNG in this game, so it's one of those games where we need to be very clever with what we do, because like one miss in this game could be pretty vital. I've played this game for about 2-3 weeks. I have not got very far on any of the saves because it's a hard game. It's a really hard game, so it'll be very interesting to see how far in this game we actually get if we manage to beat it, which it's a push, but we'll give it a try and we'll see exactly what we can do. So let's give the tutorial a go. Alright, so we have two of our first heroes here. This is Reynold. He is a Crusader who's kind of a melee frontline. As you see, there's one position here, two position. There's supposed to be 3 position and 4 positions. So there's 4 positions. So your first one and your other one, you want to be like either melee or maybe a melee and like a support melee. So for the tutorial, you only get 2 characters. So you get Reynold, Crusader, tank, heavy. Also very good against the undead because he's kind of got some paladin like tendencies to him. Dismas is a highwayman. He is pretty much a rogue. To make it more simple, he has ranged attacks as well as some close quarter attacks. He is better at ranged. He also has some light AoE. I like to think highwaymen are a bit like a can do a little bit of everything type class, so they're usually good in the 2nd position or the 3rd position. They can work both. So before we go anywhere, I'm going to go ahead and rename these heroes. So our Crusader, let's get our first 2 people down. I think our Crusader can be Mario. And our highwayman we will call, I think our highwayman will be Kamanosuke. As you can see, these are 2 subscribers, also people who I consider to be good friends of mine, so I'm more than happy to have these 2 as my first 2 choices. So the way this works here is you have a hallway movement. So as you press like WSD is the standard key setup here. If you press D, you'll go forward. If you do A, you'll go backwards. And basically, as you can see here, there's sets of rooms, and you can see there's 4 different steps to get to the next room. And certain random events could happen depending on what your scouting level is. It may tell you at the bottom what they're going to be, but for right now, it's not going to tell us. So random things happen. I know what's going to happen here because it's a tutorial.
Dispatch this thug in brutal fashion, that all may hear of your arrival.
Okay, so here's our first enemy, so we need to kill this guy. He's going to be easy enough to kill. Like I said, tutorial. He's only got 12 HP. Now, as you can see, everything has different abilities. Open Vein is our melee attack for our Highwayman. It also has a chance to inflict bleed, which will be 2 points of damage for 3 turns. Whereas we also have Grape Shot Blast, which, if you see the dots next to the name of the actual ability, you've got, it shows you where this ability can be shot from, which is the second position and the third position. And as you can see, this is an AoE. It will hit the first, second, and third position. But because there's only one person here, we're only going to use our melee attack because we don't need the AoE. So we're going to go ahead and hit him, do some damage. It's not a bad shot. That'll leave him down with 4 HP. He's going to hit Mario for 4. Not that big of a deal. It was a good enough blow that he managed to knock Mario back, but Mario can still attack from the second position, so that's not that big of a deal. So Mario can do the killing blow here. So Zealot's Accusation, as you can see, it is a AoE. It does damage in position 1 and position 2, but it also drops the amount of damage that the two people that you hit will actually be able to do next turn. So we're not going to bother with that right now. We're just going to go with Smite. It's our heaviest hitter. As you can see, it does 6 to 12 damage there, so this should be an instant kill, assuming it doesn't miss. Cool, 12. Really good hit. Good job, Mario. Alright, so I'm going to move you back there, and we are going to continue on across the area here. Now, interactive objects. Now, you can have good results and bad results. This is where the RNG comes in, really, of whether these items are good. Because this is a tutorial, this is the only preset path, so I know that this is going to be good. So I'm perfectly fine with opening this up. As we get some valuables, we get some jade, and we get some gold, which is always good. And we can go ahead into the second room, which will be these two guys. Now, the strategy here basically works where the ranged and from what I've seen so far, the ranged people and the people who do magic or stress damage tend to deal the most amount of damage. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use our rogue. I'm going to pick a pistol shot so I can hit past this big guy, and I'm going to try to take this brigand Fusilier out as quick as I can. So he's going to do blanket fire. He's going to hit us both. Not that big of a deal. Mario gets a slight debuff. He gets -2 dodge. As you can see, the bigger guy does a lot more damage. So what I'm going to do here, I really want to get rid of this guy, so I'm going to use Stunning Blow to try and stun this big guy if I can. Which I do indeed. As you can see on the resistances, he has a 50% chance to be stunned, so kind of a coin flip on that one, but it's just as well that worked out for us. And I can't actually hit this guy with pistol shots. See, this is why positioning is really important in this game, because now that he's been knocked back, Kama here gets moved forward, and now he can't use pistol shot because he can only use it in position 2, 3, and 4. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just move back there and wait till next turn. I would try to hit this guy with stun again. However, after you have stunned someone, they gain a slight resistance. So he's now got a plus 40% stun resist, which means his stun resistance this round is 90%. So we have a 10% chance to hit with stun. So I don't think it's worth doing. So I think we're just going to hit him instead. Whereas we'll get a pistol shot off. Can we kill him? 4 to 8. He's got 7. So no, didn't happen. Didn't do a smallest amount of damage. But you know what? These things happen. We're doing pretty good with the dodges though, which is always a plus. Does he still have the stun resist? He does, so I'll just hit him again. So as you can see, the first positions are usually the big bruisers who can't really do any ranged attacks, so assuming we hit here, he's definitely going to die. Yep, that's him dead. Now corpses I will go into in a later episode, I think, but basically a corpse will block that position. So say I wanted to kill somebody who is right here. Because this corpse is in the way, my paladin obviously can't hit him because that corpse has taken up the third position. As you can see, because this guy is so big, he takes up position 1 and position 2. 11, that's a pretty good hit. Oh, got a nasty quit there, but luckily enough, this is the there's only 2 battles in the actual tutorial, so that's not that big of a deal. And I think we'll just kill this guy off with a stab from Kama. Some bandages, some gold, and deeds. Deeds and a lot of other things are used to upgrade like certain areas in your hamlet, like your church and your guild and your blacksmith and stuff like that, and it's used just for upgrades and stuff like that. But I'll go into more detail once we have more of these. But basically, yeah, it's an upgrade tool. Alright, after you have completed the requirements of a quest, you have the option to return to town at any time. Just click the quest, you don't need to return to the starting room of the dungeon or exit. So we can exit right now. I'm going to press continue adventuring. We're actually going to leave, but just before I do that, these chests here, again, it's a 50-50 chance. However, the first one is always rigged, so in case anybody asks me, why did you ignore this chest here? This chest in the tutorial is always a trap, so we're not going to open that. Unless we got a key, in which case we could open it, but no, it's a trap. In fact, I may as well, it doesn't necessarily matter, so yeah, it's a trap. Okay, so I think that went pretty well, that's fine. They'll get healed once they go back to town, so that's not an issue. As far as stress, they're both perfectly fine for stress. I'll go into stress in more detail when we do our next dungeon here. I think we've definitely got time to do another one. 5,000 gold. If you don't use any of the food or any stuff like bandages, it will go towards the amount of money you've managed to collect. So, both Mario and Kama are now apprentice level 1, which is always good. They haven't got any buffs or negative traits. This is kind of randomized depending on how you do in the actual dungeon, as far as I'm aware. So if you do really badly and you get like maxed out with stress damage and stuff like that, usually it might end up where you're getting something negative here. But Mario and Kama are kind of just content with that one, so I'm kind of fine with that. As far as these episodes, I think these episodes will become a weekly thing. I think I'll probably do them weekly just on the basis that I'm currently working. So I'll probably upload one every Wednesday. That's probably the plan. And after that, basically it depends how well this episode goes. Let me know if you guys are enjoying this or you think you'll enjoy this as a series. Okay, so this is our hamlet. This is all the places that are upgraded. As you can see, most of these places are still locked while we get through the first couple of missions. Our place that we have unlocked is the Ancestor's Memoir. This is a place where we won't actually be using. It's literally just it tells you the story, right? So we might click on this from time to time, but you know, if you guys want to know the stories, this kind of thing, you could look it up on YouTube if you want to. I think it'd save us a lot of time if we didn't do that. So the graveyard is where people go to die. Hopefully, a lot of our heroes won't end up here, so hopefully this will stay empty. But I know what this game's like. Chances are this is not going to stay empty, but we'll see.
Women and men, soldiers and outlaws, fools and corpses, all will find their way to us now that the road is clear.
The stagecoach is your hero lifeblood. You need to recruit these 2 heroes to fill out a party of 4. Drag and drop. While you're here, spend some of your starting resources on upgrading the stagecoach network. This will increase the number of heroes available here in the future. To upgrade, click blah blah blah. So yeah, click the plus so you can upgrade. Basically, the stagecoach network is the thing that will send heroes to you. And the hero barracks will increase the size of your roster. As you can see, it's currently 9 is the maximum amount of people we can have. If we click that, it'll increase it to 12. If we increase this, it'll increase the number of heroes we get at the end of every dungeon to 3. So we always do that. That's kind of a must.
Foolishly seeking fortune and glory in this domain of the damned.
I think increasing this to 4 is kind of not worth doing right now. I think we're kind of fine with this. So I think we'll just stick with this for the moment. We'll kind of save the rest of this for when we need it later. But as you can see, there's the deeds for the upgrades. There's the quests, there's the portraits, and there's the busts. So these are basically upgrade resources, basically. So as you can see, that upgrade there would have cost us 4 deeds and 4 quests. So there you go. So we'll take these 2 guys. This here is the Vestal. The Vestal is basically... she's basically a healer, in the best way to describe her. She can deal damage, though. She's kind of like a healer, priest type class. Basically, as you can see, she can do heal, party heals. She can also increase the level of our torch. Now, the torch, I haven't discussed yet. We will discuss the torch in our next dungeon. And then you've got stuff like Dazzling Light, which will be stun. As you can see, her job is basically to heal the party and make sure that the torch doesn't go out or go too low. So, she's extremely useful. She's better in the back line. You can use her in part 3 and number 3 as well, because she does have stuff like Judgment and stuff like that, which can be really helpful. But I do like her in the 4th position, which is where I will probably be putting her. Now, the Plague Doctor is basically... I like to think of him as like a poisoning, deal damage over turn type unit. He has stuff like Pulse Grenade, which doesn't inflict Blight. Blight is basically a disease. It works in the same way that Bleed does. Blight tends to be stronger than Bleed. However, Blight doesn't last as long as Bleed. If I'm correct, I may be mistaken there, but I think that's correct. And basically his job is to inflict Blight. At least this is what I like to do. I like to inflict Blight on our enemies round after round, and that Blight damage will slowly start stacking. So 4 points doesn't seem like that big of a deal, especially considering it only does, I think it does 1 damage, maybe 2 for a crit when you initially hit them. But if you hit him again with that same Blight and he gets blighted again, it'll do 8 points of damage per turn. And after that it'll become 12, 16. So it's a big deal, right? So he's definitely good to be putting on ranged units and mages and people who are in that back line who are going to be hard to get to with your tanks is basically what the Plague Doctor's main job is for. So we definitely are going to go ahead and take him too.
What better laboratory than the blood-soaked battlefield?
Now, before we go anywhere, I'm going to discuss the quirks. This is the thing I was talking about with the positive and negative things that you get at the end of every dungeon. Every hero that we hire, including Mario and Kama, they have them too, will have quirks automatically put on them. So we'll have a look at Kama's here, for example. He is a known cheat, which means he is not allowed to gamble when he's in the town. Now, gambling is a way of reducing stress. So basically this means he won't be able to do gambling. That's one of the things that he won't be able to do. Whereas his pluses, these ones are pretty obvious, got plus 15% stun resist, and he has plus 2 speed, which, may I say, that is really good for a starting character to get those 2 straight away. Plus 2 speed is a really good positive quirk, so Kama's looking good. As for you two, what do I call you guys? Alright, the Vestal, I will be calling you Cloudless. And our... Okay, I'm going to make a judgment decision here, because I think this just looks better. Kama will become our Plague Doctor, and our Highwayman will become Watermelon. Now, this is the part where they're like, you do realise Watermelon's not... You do realise Watermelon, at least the Watermelon that I know, isn't spelt like that. It's never been spelt... I know, but... He's Watermelon. You know, it's Watermelon, okay? Leave me alone. Okay, so we're going to embark on a small dungeon here. So we can play these guys as the Plague Doctor can go there. Our Vestal will go in position 4, and we'll stick with Mario and Watermelon will both go here. And here are our rewards. So there's our quests, more resources. We get a Dodge Stone, which is -1 speed, but it's plus 4 dodge. This is extremely good, in my opinion, to be putting on someone like Watermelon, if for no other reason that he already has plus 2 speed. He already has more speed than he should. So I think to sacrifice 1 speed for 4 dodge is definitely worth doing. So if we get this, we'll definitely put this onto Watermelon. He'll get the first trinket of the game.
The cost of preparedness, measured now in gold, later in blood.
Okay, you want to take different supplies depending on what region you are going to, how long the quest is, and your own preference, but always bring some food and torches. For your first short quest, try bringing at least 8 food and 4 torches. Now, 4 food is a bit questionable. 8 torches is about right, I'd say, so we will stick with 8 torches, but we will not be taking 4 food. We'll take 8 food as well. We'll also take 2 skeleton keys, which are used to unlock strong boxes and doors, which your best stuff is always behind keys or something that we need to sacrifice some damage for, something like that. So, and shovel is to clear obstacles. If you don't get shovels or you run out of shovels and you need to clear an obstacle, you can clear them by hand, but it will do some damage to you, and it'll also deal a quite considerable amount of stress. So shovels are really important. I can't count the amount of times that I've run out of shovels and one of my characters has become like next level stressed out on the basis that I forgot to bring enough shovels. Holy Water and Anti-Venom. We got the Anti-Venom from the Plague Doctor. He always carries one about with him, and Holy Water is from the Vestal. So, do I want to take some bandages? We'll take 1 bandage with us too, just for safety's sake. And we'll go ahead and we'll do our first dungeon. So hopefully this goes well. If one of our characters dies on the first dungeon, that's a problem. That'd be really unfortunate, because I think I've only had that happen once before, and I have faith in you guys. If we get hurt, we've got Cloudless to go ahead and save you guys, so it's no big deal. So I'm going to highlight Watermelon as I go through here, mainly because if there's any traps, he has the highest percent chance. Not you, Camera, get out of here. He has the highest percent chance of disarming them and not setting them off. Alright, so we've got an extra torch there, which is always good. So I'm going to try and 100% this dungeon if I can. Oh, first bad guys. Alright, good stuff out, Watermelon, good dodge. I think I'm going to go for a 1-2 combo. This is a combo I like using a lot. So Watermelon and Mario are going to do a bit of a combo. I'm going to use Grape Shot Blast for some AoE damage on these two, which will do 4 and 4. Now, I was hoping Cam would go. In fact, yeah, I'm going to use Emboldening Vapors, plus 25% damage and plus 3 speed. I'm going to use Kama to buff up Mario here. And Mario is going to use Zealous Accusation. It will hit position 1 and position 2. And it'll also do bonus damage. Because it's holy, it does bonus damage against the undead. So, considering he also got a 25% damage buff, this should get a double kill here. Yep, good stuff. So that went about as well as it can. There's no lock on this, so I can just open it. Oh, Ruby. That's 1,000 gold, which is always good. Some quest is fine. And another shovel. I will not say no. So Watermelon is probably the one that sets off the scout. And there's a slight chance that it will do that, and it'll scout, and it'll tell you what's coming up. So there is going to be another battle coming up shortly. And there's also an obstacle, which we'll go ahead and empty. Now, here's our torch here. The good thing about this game is if you stand still, your torch isn't going to go down. It only goes down as you progress. So I can sit here and just talk for a little bit. This torch here indicates the level of light in the dungeon. Now, light is a huge deal. As you can see, we're currently on dim light, which is the third highest we can go. So it's like, there's 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 is completely bright. 3 is where I like to keep it. I don't want to be any lower than number 3. I think 3 is kind of the area I want to be at. So basically, the red indicates bad things, obviously. Good recommends good things. So we have a higher chance of doing scouting under dim light. We have a slightly higher chance of monsters becoming surprised, which means we get to take our turns first. But we do take slightly more stress damage. Now, at the end of this quest, I'm going to turn this light completely off so I can show you how bad it gets. But basically, the lower down the torch goes, you have a higher chance of quit, and you also have much better loot, but everything goes up. Like the enemy's damage gets a massive buff, the amount of stress you take gets a massive buff. Basically, dark light is bad time, so you always want to make sure you've got plenty of torches on you. As you can see, the torch just went down to number 3. So I'm going to use the torch here to bring it back up. Okay, so this is where different soldiers come into attack. That there is a cultist acolyte. Now, he does not do a lot of damage, but what he does do is a lot of stress damage. His job is to stress your characters out. If you see these little bars down here, this indicates your stress level. As soon as it hits 200, which comes a lot quicker than you think, then negative things start happening to your heroes. Like, they become fearful, they become irrational. They'll do stuff like they'll pass their turn for no reason. They'll just say, no, I'm not fighting. Or they'll run to the back of the queue. Or they'll do something weird. Like, I don't think they can hit your own characters, but they'll do stuff like they'll just pick something at random and just randomly hit something with it. And stuff like that. So stress is a big deal. Stress can really kill your team. So, I'm going to hit the stress guy here with a pulse grenade, and we're just going to blight him to death. At least that's the plan. We'll also get Watermelon to shot a pistol shot over there. As you can see, there's the stress. Doesn't do a lot of damage, but as you can see, a considerable amount of stress damage there. I don't particularly want to use Cloudless because I don't want to upgrade my torch, because then it gets to... I think it'll probably hit... I think I'll get away with it. Yeah, I'll get away with it. Doesn't do a lot of damage anyway. I just don't want to pass that level and get to the 4th area, because that'll cost us because I prefer to fight on this level. So he's going to take 4 next turn, so I only need to hit him for 1. So I think instead of using pistol shot, I'll use tracking shot, which does less damage, but it'll give myself plus 12 damage, plus 6 accuracy, and plus 5 crit. So as long as we just hit, yeah. So he's dead next turn. Oof, it's a bad hit there. Okay, so we're just going to use that accusation on these two. Ooh, great crit there from Mario. As you can see, when you end up critting, it will reduce stress slightly. It'll like bolster the morale in your party. So as you can see, Cloudless' stress has gone down a considerable amount. Okay, this is going to seem a bit weird, but I'm going to use tracking shot on Cultist again. I could kill the spawn soldier, but I want to keep him around until I get to Cloudless again, because I want Cloudless to heal Watermelon up. Don't quit. Yeah, he quitted. It's not that big of a deal. Okay, there we go. So, Cloudless can heal up Watermelon. It does mean Cam will take a bit of damage, but I'd rather there was like a split up damage rather than just one person going down. So I think... Can I stun him? Nah, he'll die next turn anyway. I think. Yeah. So we'll just kill him. Okay, we've got a portrait, some gold, and some onyx, which is fine. We'll head on over to the next dungeon. I'm reasonably happy with this. Everything seems to be fine. Now, I've got 2 routes I can take here. I want 100% this, but if I want 100% it, what's the best way? I think I'll go up and go that way and then go down and then do it that way. So we'll go to the treasure room first, I think. Make sure I pop a torch. Okay, so this is Mario, one of Mario's negative traits coming into effect here. So if I click on Mario after he's went ahead and done that, if I click on... Try to click on Mario, there we go. If you click on Mario, you can see the 2 of his negative perks. One of his negative perks is Kleptomaniac, which means he is prone to stealing items. That means sometimes when you go to loot areas, he will just loot the chest himself and you won't get any of the items. He's just going to take it for himself. Which, you know, is a bit unfortunate, and I will try to fix that, and there is ways of fixing that, but I'll explain that in the next part. But our main focus right now is just getting out of this alive. So, again, I'm going to focus down this Acolyte. I can't afford stress damage, so I'm going to pistol shot. I need you to hit... If you hit 8... he'll die next turn, which is fine. However, that's asking a lot considering that's a max hit, but give it a try. Oh, he dodged it. It's not good. So this guy doesn't do a lot of damage, but this guy's the guy who inflicts bleed. The Acolyte is attacking Cloudless again, trying to knock up her strength level. Okay, just to stop bleed, I'm going to go ahead and stun this guy. Also, when the Acolyte does that attack, which is another reason why you want to get him down, as quickly as possible, it also reduces your torch. So he can really hurt in the later game because he will burn through your torches. Okay, so I've just stacked Blight again, so he takes 8 damage and he's dead. So now I can completely focus on taking these 2 down. I think I'll do a party heal. It doesn't heal by a lot, but nobody's particularly, like, terrible. So I think we'll just do a party heal instead. Don't want to use my bandage. How much further? I still have a considerable amount, so I'm going to save my bandage for now. Because it's only 1 damage per round. If it starts stacking, then I can use bandage. And I think here I'm just going to use some AoE damage here. Something to set up Mario with. Mario can kill both of these if he hits max. Got one of them. It's not too bad. And I'll leave Watermelon to finish this guy off. Okay, very good. Okay, I'm a little bit concerned with Cloudless's stress damage. It is going up a fair amount, but the hope is we'll still be okay. As you can see, this is a locked chest, so we can go ahead and use the key here. And we get some busts, some quests, and a pretty small amount of gold. It's a little bit disappointing. I would have hoped for a little bit more, but do you know what? It's upgrade resources, so I can't be that upset about that. Cloudless just fell in the trap. I did not see that trap, which is impressive. Must have slipped my mind. Usually, most traps you can see, which means Watermelon must have missed that trap, and I think that's like a 10% chance of not detecting it, so that was unfortunate, but Cloudless didn't get hurt that badly. Her stress has gone up a little bit more, though.
Mind that such missteps are the exception, and not the rule.
Okay, Cloudless has been hit with some really unfortunate stress damage here, so as you can see, she has filled her bow up, and now she's irrational. She will become difficult to work with at this point. Now, after the end of every dungeon, that does disappear. You will get rid of stress, so it's not like she's permanently a nightmare now. She'll be fine, but it's just for the rest of this dungeon, she'll be a bit awkward to work with. They're surprised, which is great. We want to focus down the Bone Abolist if we can.
Precision and power.
It's a really good crit. That'll set up Karma to kill him with Blight next turn. So that guy's dead. I think we'll just use Zealous Accusation for these two. These two aren't particularly strong. They're pretty much the weakest. Cloudless is fine for now. She didn't kick off that time, so she can just heal herself, I think.
The slow death, unforeseen, unforgiving.
So I'm going to hit him with Blight to make sure that he's definitely going to die next turn. Alright, so Cloudless just freaked out a little bit there. She did a little bit more stress damage to herself. Once your stress damage hits 200, you then go into heart attack mode, which is where all your HP disappears. And you enter Death's Door. I don't want to show you Death's Door until it happens. Under the basis that I just don't want us to hit Death's Door. That's just bad times. So we're going to try to ignore that for now. A Holy Fountain. Now, this can be positive and negative, but because we have Holy Water, it makes sure that it's good. So this is why you need Holy Water for stuff like this. So we'll go ahead and use that. We get Divine Benefit, which completely heals Watermelon. Also gives him a lot less stress, so his stress is now completely flatlined. Same as Mario. Mario and Watermelon are dealing with this really well. Karma's dealing with it well too. Karma's having a... not Karma. Cloudless is having a bit of a trouble here, but... again, it's not going too badly. Now, I could do that little bit there, but I honestly don't think it's that big of a deal. Something that's also noteworthy... She's going crazy. One thing that is noteworthy here is the fact that when you go through an area that you've already searched, your torch does still go down, but it goes down a lot slower, so it's not that big of a deal. Mario is going to steal some more stuff. Oh, don't steal that. There's 10 food. I could have completely healed everyone with that. Just a bad person. Alright, there's our hunger. The exertion of adventure have produced a growing hunger amongst the party. Eat 4 food, gain 5% health, or don't eat, take 20% damage plus stress damage. So that's a big deal, right? So you always need to have food with you. This is why you should also always take extra food. So you can't afford to have 20% damage taken off, and that stress damage is pretty big. Alright, so we've completed our quest. However, I want to carry on and do this last room, because we're doing okay for the most part. Cloudless is struggling, stress-wise, but her health's still great, so I think we'll be fine. Okay, one more set of wobble. We have our shovels, that's no big deal. We're starting to slowly run out of torches, but it's the last room, so it's not that big. See, this is why we want to come to this room, because another locked chest. Right, this guy here is the Bone Courtier. He is basically the same as the Acolyte, except he is especially annoying. He has a low amount of HP, only has 10 HP though, so Pulse Grenade will hit both of them, so again, Kama is just going to start stacking the Blight damage. Cloudless has skipped a turn because she's freaked out, which is a bit unfortunate. So I'm going to use Watermelon to try and target down the Courtier here. Mario can just start battling against these two. Cloudless just tried to stress Mario out. Wasn't that big though, so it's not that big of a deal, but it's something you want to be careful of. Cam is slowly starting to get higher here, so I'm going to use Cloudless to heal him slightly. Oh, that might put Cloudless on Death Star. Right, I can now explain it. The way Death Star works is once you've hit Death Star, there you go, explains it for me. When a hero is reduced to 0 HP they are at Death Star, while in this state they will suffer stress penalties, plus any further damage has a chance to kill them. So basically she needs to get healed now, because if any of these hits her, there's a percentage chance that she'll die. So I don't particularly want that to happen, so I'm going to crit him, get him out of the way. I'm going to grenade him, hit him with Blight so he dies. Hopefully these two are out of range of getting her, but on the off chance that he's not, I'm going to stun him. This is now Operation Protect Cloudless.
Slowly, gently. This is how a life is taken.
Is she going to take a turn? Is she going to take a turn? Don't pass, don't pass, don't pass. Oh! She just hurt herself. She nearly died there. Like, see, this is why you don't want to be stressed, because she just did damage to herself. That could have killed her right there. We got a bit lucky there. So I'm going to heal her, get her off Death Star, and we're just going to finish this fight off. But that was awfully close. This is one of the things. Just a little thing like stress completely turns the game around. So we'll use our last key to get the last of our goodies here. Busts, quest, a little bit of gold. It's all good. And we'll end our quest there. Whew! That was a tricky one. But Cloudless lives to fight another day. So we got 3,000 gold. Our dodge stone we will be giving to Watermelon. And this is approaching nearly 40 minutes, so I need to go ahead and... I will make other episodes slightly shorter than this, I think. I'll probably do it around the 20 minutes, 25 minute mark. But let me know if you prefer longer episodes. Since it'll only be a week, like weekly uploads, maybe you'll want it to be longer since it's weekly. But you guys let me know what you think, and let me know what you think of this series. So, Kama got Unearring, which is plus 10% damage on range skills, which is amazing, because Kama does the Blight damage, right? So, that's kind of a really good thing. Watermelon gets Balance, which is plus 15% move resist. It gives him a less chance of being knocked back, which is always good. And Mario got Eagle Eye, which is plus 3% on range skills. Mario, as far as I'm aware, doesn't have any range skills, so this doesn't really matter. But hey, none of it was negative, so I was expecting Cloudless to get a negative skill, so she didn't. So overall, that was a really good end result for us. So I am going to go ahead and end it here. Thank you guys very much for watching. Let me know what you think. Subscribe, like, do all that good stuff. Comment, let me know what you guys think. I'll make sure to answer any comments that I get. And yeah, it's good to be back doing some videos, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Thanks for watching, guys.